Good morning, good morning, good morning, traders. How we doing? How we feeling? A new fresh week. Let me fix my headphones. Let's hope the market work with us this week. Got about $1,000 more I need to make before I hit my goal. Pass the Leeloo evaluation again. All right, so let's get this started. All right. The quote of the day: "To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders." All right, that is our quote of the day. Just gonna drop that on you. Drop that on you real quick. All right, let's go ahead and look at the pre-market insight. All right, so on the calendar today, we don't have anything scheduled. Tomorrow we got CB consumer confidence and the Fed Chair Powell testifies. That's at 10. Wednesday we got new home sales and crude oil inventories. Thursday we have the core durable good orders, GDP, initial jobless claims, and pending home sales. And then Friday we just have the U.S. federal budget in the afternoon to close up the week. All right, so that is our economic outlook. Let's go ahead and look at the power range. For the NQ future sessions today, we had the power range. We had a high of 13,618 with a low of 13,548 and a quarter. At the time of this posting, we were trading bearish, down negative 1.21% with a volume of 150K, which is significant, even though it's the start of a weekend or of a new week. And ATR is 232.68. Alright, so that is our power range report. Let's go ahead and look at it on the chart. I have to check my volume real quick. The mic. Alright, so you can see we had this started out, with a little bit of retracement, bullish, and then we just pretty much had a strong drop around 2 a.m. And after that sell off, we've been pretty much consolidating between -2 and 3. So of course my bias today is going to be, my strategy is only going to be for short trades this morning, just to trade with the trend. And I think I'm going to have it on this monitor the whole time. Let's go ahead and get that pre-market snapshot. I like my -1 for a pullback. Looking at the volume. Crap. Lost my screen for a minute. The volume was a little dead leading into the open. You don't have much movement at all. Do have a little room to the downside if we continue trading bearish. No. I'm just gonna hold that thought right there until and watch how the rest of it plays out. Keeping an eye on the session low, as well as my -1 and my -2. I would love to get some pullback to the -1 location. See if I can do this time without. I was trying to look up something. I ended up clicking the wrong Windows tab. Lost my YouTube. The YouTube window I had up. What's the thing? Got about a minute, less than a minute to the bell. Seemed like it was a pretty quiet weekend. Like nothing. Everybody's getting kind of tired of talking about GameStop and stuff. Bitcoin. A lot of people are anticipating as usual, we've been anticipating a crash for I don't know how long. That's what I've been hearing people talk about lately. Expecting some kind of strong sell-off. Because we've been trading, this market has been bullish for a long time. We've had some micro pullbacks, but overall it's been bullish for a while. As expected, we got some buying coming in at the open. It's not too strong though. Referencing NQ's volume, the volume is pretty significant, or it's pretty high. A lot of times when it's high like this, trying to think if well yeah, a lot of times when it's like the volume is super high overall, that a lot of times that can result in a choppy market. So last we have a little battle to open up the market.
Order pending.
Nope, that's not the right
Order canceled. Order submitted.
There I go, clicking the wrong
Order
thing
canceled.
again.
Order pending.
And
Order
sometimes
canceled.
it places the wrong. multi-charts has been a little troublesome lately.
Order submitted.
I don't know if I'm clicking too fast or maybe it's my computer
Order
lagging on my
submitted.
click. With that sell-off we just got, we may not. Let's see if the bottom holds or if we trade through it. We usually get a bounce at the session low. It looks like was that the new, let me see. Yeah, I got a minute. Hold on. Let me use the error chart. I don't like how multi-chart scroll. Let's see. Right, so we have bounced off the session low a few times, and we're still seeing a little bit of pushback there. So we've been in this consolidation for a while, so we can expect a break at some point soon. What I would expect, me personally, my personal opinion, I'm expecting a break in either direction. Always the question is when. As of right now, it looks like we're trying to hold the range. Yeah, there's a possible break there, but I don't want to take the break. I would rather take the retest. I haven't been about that breakout life lately, especially in this choppy market. I've been seeing a lot of traps. Also, Delta's not supporting a momentum short at the moment.
Order submitted.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely not a breakout market. Right now we got this little range between 420. Right now we're battling the 420 area. With that much bullish momentum, you would expect it to go higher, but this is where we got a lot of selling. Just waiting at this level, and they're pushing back. And on a bigger level, there's some accumulation for a bigger play. For those with a little more, I would say, wiggle room to do more things. Sometimes I think to myself, the movement should be illegal. This movement. Looking right back down to the low. So both orders, it just, I don't know. Well, I could have used the volume profile, but I had my order where I wanted it. I'm just looking at what could have happened, what could have been. Of course, it's hindsight, and hindsight has 100% accuracy, but it is still hindsight.
Order submitted.
Yeah, I definitely feel a savage move coming soon. Soon we might see some timber in south direction. Take a moment to look at the big picture. I have to look pretty far. trying to look for some structure below this 360 level, our session low, and we don't have a lot of floor, or there's not a lot of action below 360. Not much recent action. So if we do break that floor, we definitely got a long way to drop. Oh, there's a lot of potential to the downside. No, it's the same order. It's just I've been like moving it around a little bit. Feel like my location could be a little aggressive with based off support and resistance. Looking at the price action, it might be my entry level might be a little passive. Catching some resistance up here. A little bit before the top of this, the wider range. We're consolidated. The overall trend is still a little bearish. In hindsight, I don't know if I had my order sitting right there or not. I probably could have kept the order where I had it originally. I still don't think it would have got filled because I think I was a little bit higher than where we're seeing this little bit of resistance. Even though we're still kind of bullish short term. The bulls have a lot to fight through. Well, no, not really much if you look at volume, not until around like 5:15ish. That's it. Just discovered the channel yesterday. Didn't know you do some live trading, so appreciate you. I appreciate your discovery and you coming through for the live. And by the way, the sound in the background making one nervous. That's a first. So that was my test field. Maybe we'll I don't like these ghost orders. Look at that. Price was rejected like one tick before my order. This is a Leeloo account. So the Leeloo evaluation. Looks like I had my order like one tick too high. It's been happening a lot to me lately. So above 450, price drops off considerably. I'm doing some one-up eval, but with a task. How do you say that? A task or order flow platform? I've heard of them. I haven't checked them out. I haven't actually tried out their demo yet. How do you like trading on that platform? So this is the kind of price action that I'm not a fan of. It's little. At this time, in this time frame, we should be more volatile. With this little extremely low volatility, we're just kind of chopping around in little ranges while we slowly trade in one direction, and then, but when it breaks out of this low volatility, it usually moves heavily. So that's a bullish, slightly bullish candlestick pair. Those last 2-3 minutes. Still, the energy of the market is pretty low. It's like it's trying to set up for another drop. This kind of price action is almost worth just calling it a no trade day for me personally. So I only got like 15 minutes before I can before the end of my trade window. It's good, especially I like the working with the footprint charts and the task for confirmation. task. Look up. I gotta find one of the commercials. As a grammar Nazi, I don't like saying words, or even if it's a name wrong. I've kind of redirected my my studies to looking at like more market flow or order flow type of information. I'm studying like the TPO chart now, and yeah, really just the TPO is what I'm looking at. Yep. I got that on my to-do list because I like to just to see what I like to keep learning. So I like to try out different platforms and look at different stuff. All right, so it looks like we're gonna try to break out of this. All right, attempt to break out from this overnight range.
Position opened.
That puts me in a position.
Order submitted.
So I have this guy to load in.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Make sure I get the screenshot to journal it. put the details later. I don't give a lot of attention to the
Target filled.
being super consistent with the journal while I'm trading live.
Order pending.
Break even has already been triggered, like less than a minute after getting in the trade. That was a beautiful entry. It's a rarity for me, to be honest. So I trade live every Monday and Wednesday. I trade the New York Stock Exchange Open. Sometimes I may pop in and do a random day or just do a share screen. But in this format, it's every Monday and Wednesday. If only I could have that kind of entry on all of my trades, that would be wonderful. We're likely my break even might end up getting triggered.
Stop filled. Order canceled.
So just with this price action and the fact that I don't like to trade in this price action, I got my one for the day and I'm done for the day. If we continue climbing higher, really, like, there's not a lot of resistance until like 520-ish from my perspective. In my personal opinion, and of course the disclaimer, this is not advice to take any positions in your own account. I'm just only sharing my opinion for entertainment and educational purposes only. Have you tried Journalytics? Is that what it is? Yep. Journalytics. That's an interesting way to spell that. It's automatic journaling with Rhythmic. I have not. But I will take a look at it after today's session. Yeah, they'll only put me halfway to the threshold, but it doesn't even matter. Yeah, so it definitely looks like it wants to sell off. I mean, there's not much interest above 440 as of right now anyway. So I got taken out on the choppiness. Still in this battle zone. May come back and watch this in the afternoon. And curious to experience. It's been a long time since I actually watched the afternoon session live. I always go back and review it, but I usually don't watch it live, so I may do that today while I'm working on some other stuff. I'm not going to trade it, but just see what if things pick up in the afternoon, which a lot of times they do after a choppy morning like this. All my back testing is pretty much manual. I do it manually. Like when I was doing it, a lot of times I would back test with using the functionality in Sierra chart, but a lot of times I would see a lot of errors in it. So I mean, it does have a purpose for me sometimes when I'm trying to get like the broader picture of something, that I'm testing out. Good morning, Mrs. Williams. Special guest appearance. So to overanalyze, we do have, I do see a pivot historically, a historical pivot at around 470. That's from I guess this is Thursday. Yeah. Even though there's not a lot of volume there today to correlate with that. What am I doing? All right, looks like we might be getting a little momentum coming in to the short side. Of course, we're still in this battle zone. Let's see how strong the bears can be. So in hindsight, I still probably would have got chopped out, but I could have taken this takeout right there, and it would have gave me, could have took it in a full position there. Of course, have my risk management load in strategy, or I could have went in maybe like light here, loaded in there, since we are supported by structure and my levels and volume. So there's three things that correlate with each other. So I could have went in half there, full there, or I could have just waited for the pullback and benefited from this drop. Of course, all of that is hindsight capital, where we never get it wrong. That's the motto, hindsight capital. We never get it wrong, because it already happened. The main reason I verbalize it there is just to put another, to interact with what I'm seeing more than with just my sight. I want to interact with that, with what I'm looking at, what I'm studying, what I see live, so that it becomes, I put more muscle into it to have more muscle memory with it, if that makes sense. Kind of a sports term. Actually, first time I heard muscle memory was in the military. That's another story for another day. I would expect a real test to break lower at this point, but of course with some pushback, with some some traders sitting right here at the low with some buy orders and stops to be eaten below that. And those special individuals who are making markets right now, this is a beautiful location to do a lot with their inventory. Shout out to JJ from Confessions of a Market Maker for that terminology right there. Let's see if we get a serious attempt on this move right here. You know, eventually it will break in either direction, so I wanna see when it does that and how. I see momentum continuing. Just looking at lines on the chart. If I was in this, I would like 325 as a target. Just to have a target before the floor. And it looks like we're experiencing an attempted trap. I like how the setup looks on the 30-minute chart. We're looking at how these next 5 minutes go. Hey, watching this is better than anything on TV, for sure. For me personally. It's an interesting little battle to watch. The Bears are trying to push it lower, but the Bulls are definitely putting up a fight. And this is just a story that I'm telling myself. You know, there's a lot of actual, things that are going on here. Which is a perfect segue. If you haven't, if you don't follow me on any other social media platform, let me bring this up real quick. A very interesting, if you're looking for something to listen to in the background or just actual pick up some game from, turn this song is extra loud. Now comes the challenge of finding it. Let's see. Well, I lost I don't remember why. I know I saved it somewhere. Hate when I do this. I save something for future reference and then I forget where I saved it or how I saved it. It should be there in the recommended. Yeah, the Steady Trade podcast. So the Steady Trade podcast, episode 187. I highly recommend listening to that podcast if you haven't done so already. The host JJ, who's a former market maker, gives a lot of insight onto how it is that we see what we see, because they're the ones that are actually making the market. hence the label or the title market maker. Definitely interested to see where this goes from here, but got some other stuff I gotta do, so I'm gonna have to come back and check that later. I appreciate everybody for coming through, trading with me, kicking it with me, and I will see y'all Wednesday. Trade it easy.